All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome back. For our first lecture today, we have Jamie Dorley, CEO of Nutritional Frontiers, owner and CEO and owner of the Weiner Wellness Center. He's going to be talking about NF4Life, real people, real results, weight loss, liver toxicity, hormones, so many things. I'm excited to hear all these testimonies, Jamie, because this is a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're going to go through it in rapid fire. So the whole goal today is to have people learn and become more confident that they can make changes in their life, regardless of what they're suffering with. And we're going to be totally transparent and a little bit vulnerable today. So I'm going to show a little bit of my comeback. It's not done yet, but it's really important that people understand that we do these wellness weeks to help our business, of course, but also as a community event to help educate you so that you're empowered to make an informed, educated decision. So this Wellness Week is going on from the 17th to the 24th of July. And we do these about every 2 months. This is the Summer Splash, and then the Fall Fiesta is right out in the corner. So the NF4Life is the Nutritional Frontiers lifestyle program. And we're talking about real people, real results. So what does the Weiner Wellness Center have for you? Well, we have many different ways for you to participate with us. We have, of course, chiropractic. We have weight loss. We have laser treatment now. We have muscle therapy. We have functional medicine, applied kinesiology. We have a few different technologies to help test you. Things like the Zyto and things like the Allegio scan and applied kinesiology, NATE. So we have more services here than we've ever had before. Our staff is very genuine and very passionate about your program. Everybody's is evaluated and customized to meet your goals and needs. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. We don't need to meet with you 3 times a week forever. Usually you need to meet probably 3, 4, 5 times to get your initial goals met. You come to the wellness weeks and you come in to fine-tune. So as a lot of you guys may or may not know, Nutritional Frontiers is owned by me and my family. It was started by me and, of course, the late, great international icon, Dr. James Weiner. We're a family-owned, faith-based Pittsburgh company. We're right here in South Fayette, actually on the same road as the Wellness Center. Route 50 just goes in the Bridgeville area. We're really a mission-driven company. Our mission is making the world healthy. We take a lot of pride in that. And we want to make sure that we are helping people focus on what are some of the causes of your health challenges and conditions, and not only have an absence of symptoms, but to maximize your wellness and maximize your life, because we want to have not an ordinary life but an extraordinary life. And the difference with Nutritional Frontiers versus most companies out there is that we have the clinical experience from the Weiner Wellness Center. All of our programs have been utilized first in here, and we've actually created this whole product line through all of our research at the Weiner Wellness Center for the past 20 plus years. Actually, some of our formulas were around way before Nutritional Frontiers, things like HA Plus and the flaxseed. So we've been at this with Nutritional Frontiers a long time. If you look at my background, I've been doing this, it'll be 30 years in December. That's probably longer than Phil's been on the planet. But, 30 years since I graduated from college, I've been at this with nutrition and lifestyle therapies. So let's go to the next one. And there's my background. I graduated in 1991 from Slippery Rock University, 30 years in December. My degree is so old, Phil, that it was actually called community health. That does not exist anymore. It's not called public health. But what I did in undergraduate was looked at the conditions across a big scope of people, maybe in a city or a geographical area, age groups, lifestyle. Why do some people get sick and others don't? And it really helped me when I started out my career working in Bally's Health Club and as a personal trainer, and eventually working with more of the nutrients. And for the last 20 plus years, working under Dr. Jeffrey Bland and Dr. James Weiner, and helping healthcare professionals, staff, and patients improve their life. So we look at the great pyramid of health. This is part of the NF4Life. Folks, if you learn anything today, learn that this is a program, not a product. So the program, the foundation is the same things I did 30 years ago as a personal trainer. This was authored, of course, by Dr. Tracy Straub, did an incredible job of making it practical so that you can apply food-based and nutrients together so that you get the best results. And it's all based on the foundation. And if you don't build a house on a strong foundation, it's not going to last. So it's built on lifestyle, the water, your food, your movement, sleep, stress, emotional wellness, and digestion. These are all the key components in the foundation of health. And then you build the pyramid up with food and food-based nutrients so that if you have a specific condition, then we can add in the customized nutrient at the top for the wellness solution. So this is a tried and tested program. It has proven success with thousands, if not tens of thousands of people out there. And we find that it's very fun to do, easy, and simple to implement in your life for you and your family. So this is why we do it, right? The Remove Complete Kit. This will actually cover all levels of the pyramid. So somebody was talking to me yesterday, they came into the wellness center, Tracy, and they says, oh, the power cleanse is expensive. I says, compared to what? You're getting 30 servings in there for less than $3 a serving. That includes your vitamin, your mineral, and your food. Tracy, you got kids. I know sometimes your guys are on the go. Can you get a good, healthy meal with vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, fiber for under $3?
No.
Of course not.
You can't even get an unhealthy meal for under $3.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore, right?
Nope.
Those old days are over. So, folks, this is a pre-digested powdered food. And then you look at the greens, all the superfoods in the greens and the enzymes and the pre and probiotics. I mean, jam-packed. If you do anything, do 1 scoop of Power Cleanse and 1 scoop of greens every day for breakfast, and you're halfway there. Very inexpensive, easy. And the thing we looked at the other day, all the research shows, why do the right nutrients work in a powdered form, in a shake? Because we know how much is in there. It's all the good things without all the bad things. It's portion control. It helps balance blood sugar. It provides satiety because it's giving you all the nutrients you need. It helps give a steady level of energy to your brain so you're not craving. So do the Remove Complete, 1 scoop of Power Cleanse, 1 scoop of greens to start your day. If you're really light, maybe around 100 pounds, you can do a half a scoop if you want. Some people do that twice a day. But do 1 shake per day, and you'll be shocked at the results that you get. So I like this movie. This is 40. I don't know if you've seen this before. This is a really good comedy. Phil is shaking his head, so he even likes it, right? I'm a sucker for romantic comedies, but this was good because it really was an honest movie, right? It shows you, like, you think when you get to, late 30s and 40, Tracy, you'll be there in a few years. When you get to that age, you think, oh, everything's going to be easy, but actually life becomes much harder for most people. So, I was in my late 30s. I lost my faith. I had tremendous high stress. I was on the road quite a bit for work. I had high blood sugars. My body weight, believe it or not, it's embarrassing, but at one time tipped the scales at 293 pounds. I wasn't sleeping. I had autoimmune conditions, low energy, inconsistent activity. You name it, I was dealing with it. Food allergies, skin issues. I just was not feeling good. So let's go to the next slide. And these are not some of my most proud moments, but, my kids called me Puff Daddy at this time. And I wasn't the rapper, but Puff Daddy because I was so puffy. And that's actually me there in the red shirt at the beach at my friend's wedding and then at my goddaughter's graduation on the right. So not healthy, not a proud moment, right? And just being totally honest today to let people know that, hey, we all have struggles sometimes in life. That's where I was, and that was going back quite a few years ago. But I want to share with, what does that look like? And then, what can you do about it? So let's go to the next one. So there's me during the NF4Life program, right? So what did I do? I think the biggest change, Tracy, and I like your input on this is, and I had so many people help me. Tracy helped me, Dr. Phil, Father Phil. There's so many Phils in my life. Right. Father Phil Henry.
You're full of Phils.
I have my fill of Phils. There you go. So I've had so many people, my family, of course. I had so many people helping me. But I think the key for me was getting that emotional wellness back intact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Realizing that life is not supposed to be perfect. It's just life. Everybody's fighting to get, this life like this, right? Nice and even. I said, that's flatline. That's when you're dead. Life's supposed to be up and down, maybe not so high and low, but there's going to be ebbs and flows of life. So the emotional wellness and the faith, the water and the consistent food, the movement, the sleep, these were all important parts of my program. And I use the Shake a Day Club. I've been doing that for the last few years. Sleep time might have been the biggest game changer for me because I wasn't sleeping for about 10 years. Mm-hmm. So sleep time enabled me to fall asleep. I remember I was on the road one time with Joe, and of course we had separate rooms, just to clarify. But I was on the road and I says, Joe, did you go to bed last night and just wake up this morning? And he looked at me and goes, yes. He says, why would you ask that question? I says, because I would toss and turn all night. So just to imagine being in that position where I can fall asleep and wake up 6-7 hours later was foreign to me. But folks, you can do it. Sleep time was a big game changer. I've used Sugar Solve, I've used Thyro Complete, Adrenamax, Candakill, Superbiotics, CoQ10, not all at the same time. I transition these things through. I like to do usually 2, 3, 4 months of a program, and then I like to change it up. But some of the foundations like Sleep Time and Shake a Day are always there. Superbiotics, always in the program. So that's me during my program, me and Zach actually with Mike Petteruti. He works at Gnosis, that's Quadrifolate, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So these are our partners. And that's me in the gym, not looking the most happy that morning. So at 5:30 in the morning. So let's go to the next one. So the key for me is sleep. If you're not sleeping, nothing else matters. You got to be able to fall asleep and stay asleep. So the environment that you sleep in, the white noise, the mattress, the bed you're sleeping in, your thoughts. If you have a lot of things in your mind, sit there and write at night. Get all those things out of your mind. Your mind was not designed to be a storage compartment for useless information, right? And when you start journaling and writing things down, it's amazing the creative thoughts that come in now when you have all that room in your head. That was my progress one morning. I was on the bike, which I don't really like the bike, but I did 8.5 miles and, sporting the NF shirt. So that's my NF4Life program. Up early, do my prayer, my meditation. I do my supplements, do my reading. Then I go work out. Then I go to work. So let's go to the next one. So this is me actually on Easter. So I do the shake every day, regardless of where I am and what day it is. Sometimes I do 2. If I'm going out for breakfast for work or for family, then I'll do a shake in the afternoon. But I like to do a shake every day, regardless of what the day is. What's your thoughts on that, Tracy?
Sorry, I had to get over back on this program.
That's okay.
I do a shake every day, at least. And only because what happened to me is I wasn't eating enough. So it wasn't that I was eating the wrong things. I would just spend my whole life up here working. And I would have a water bottle and some coffee. And, by 2 o'clock, I was like, did I eat anything today? So what it did for me was actually put the nutrients back in that I needed. And I noticed once I stopped, which I kind of laid off for like a month, just kind of take a break, I guess. My energy went back down. So I have just started back up probably about a week and a half now of just having a shake of the Power Cleanse and the lean greens, and I'll spike it with other things, sometimes Power Fuel, sometimes Pro Oranges, sometimes, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. But it actually filled nutrient gaps for me. So
yeah, it's funny you say that because a couple of things. One, when I was at my heaviest, I probably wasn't eating more than I'm eating now, right? I had a lot of food allergies, so I wasn't responding to certain foods well. The other thing I noticed when I have a shake is I don't crave food in general as much. I'm just, throughout the day I'll eat, but I'm not as hungry. So I think balancing the blood sugar and getting that nutrient density inside the body so it's not craving other things. It's like the old adage, right? Like, how many pieces of broccoli can you eat? Not too many, you're full. But even the commercial for Lay's potato chips says you can't eat just one because there's no nutrients in there. So you'll eat those as long as you want, or even sometimes longer than you want, because it's not giving you any nutrients. And a lot of these processed junk are loaded with chemicals to make them very addicting, right? People licking their fingers, Doritos, chips, whatever it may be, Ho-Hos. You know, you have all these different things that people are craving because they are designed to do that, folks. They're designed to make them very strong cravings and addicting to your body. Let's go to the next one. So these are some updates. You know, it's me on vacation. You know, my faith has been restored. My weight's back to about 215 or so. You know, my blood sugars are fairly stable. They do change from time to time. I sleep really well. I may wake up once or twice to use the restroom, but I will go back to bed. It's a good quality of sleep. I have a lot of energy now. I feel real good overall, you know, and I feel like, all right, now I got to this point, you know, with success comes greater challenges. So now the goals have changed. So that's just a snapshot. Let's go to the next one. I think this is actually me this morning on the next shot. Yeah, so this is me on vacation and with my trainer and my daughter. Folks, you got to make it fun. I've been going to this group exercise class just a few times with my buddy Anthony Moad and my daughter, and it's a fun class. Exercise is not designed to kill you, right? You don't have to go in there and kill yourself in the gym or wherever you like to do. You just got to be consistent with it. You got to sweat and breathe a little heavy, but you got to make it fun. So let's go to the next one. So that's me this morning working out. You know, the abs are starting to come back. I'm smiling now in the gym. I'm excited to be there, you know, sporting the cross and, you know, doing the cardio, doing weights. But, you know, my program has changed now. I do upper body one day, lower body the next, and then I do yoga. So yesterday was upper body, today's lower body and cardio, and tomorrow's yoga. So make it fun, folks. This is not a punishment. So let's go to the next one. So a lot of people think that, you know, it's just a product, right? In fact, there was a post last night. I didn't respond yet, Tracy, but someone called Nutritional Frontiers a pyramid scheme. So I want to ask them what that actually means, because I don't think they know what a pyramid scheme is. It's actually two different things. It's a pyramid program and a Ponzi scheme. But Nutritional Frontiers is not a scheme. It's not a pyramid or a Ponzi. What we do is we have high quality nutrients. Now there's something called GMP. So the GMP was designed to certify the labs so that we guarantee purity and potency, right? So we say there's no artificial flavorings in Nutritional Frontiers line, that's guaranteed. And potency, if we say there's 15 grams of protein, that's how many's in there. So Nutritional Frontiers practices GMP. That is actually the manufacturing plant. But this is equivalent, Tracy, to, I'm looking out the window, I can see Taco Bell and Burger King, right? I'm sure the health department inspects them. We all agree on that, right?
Yes.
The difference between Burger King and Capital Grille is the selection of raw goods, right? The ingredients that they use. So they're both clean, but the ingredients determine the quality of the food. So let's go to the next one, and I'll show you what I mean by what ingredients Nutritional Frontiers uses. So there are these things called patented research trademark ingredients. So we do, that's actually me and Rashid in the lab. What we do is we look at the types of formula we want to make. We select the right facility. We look at the right ingredients. You know, we create the formula. We test the formula. Then we create the label. Then we try it out in our own internal studies. And then we launch it nationally. And the next slide will show you a group of some of the patent research trademarked ingredients that we use. This is just a small sample. As you can see on there, Gnosis, who I was with in the picture with my son and Mike Petaruti, is a great partner of ours. So we use multiple ingredients by them. We use the amodium and the quadrifolate and the MK7, you know, things by Albion. We use like the vitacholine, which we're going to talk about. So we use the right ingredients, folks, and the right amounts and the right combinations, and we offer you different delivery systems to maximize compliance and results. So these are not formulas you're going to find on Dr. Google or Amazon. These are nutrients available through your healthcare professional. And we have a lot of different delivery systems. Tracy, what delivery system do you prefer?
I like chewables, I like liquids, and I like powders. I will take capsules, and I'm doing that right now with the SPMs and a few other formulas. But mostly I like to get my nutrients from the shake for my multi and then add the other things.
So chewables, powders, liquids, veggie caps, and soft gels. So she likes just about everything. So
well, the top three. I like the top three the most.
Okay. What we don't carry in Nutritional Frontiers is your large, hard-to-absorb tablets. Those are more retail-based. The reason they use large tablets is because they can put more in them. However, at your expense, because you got to pay for it, and you're not going to break down those large tablets. In fact, we have a lot of pictures showing that these things do not digest. So let's go to the next one. So let's just highlight a couple of the ingredients, and then the last half of the presentation, we'll talk about some of the more in-depth case studies. So we use these ingredients because they come with a tremendous amount of research for safety and efficacy, right? That's why we use the ingredients, because the research is being done on them. So the example is the Imodium and the quadrifolate are just two examples of the many ingredients that we use. Let's go to the next slide. And here's a little more data on the Imodium. So the Imodium is a patented research trademark glutathione. Why glutathione? It is the master antioxidant for the liver, and the liver is your main filter in the body. It filters out all the waste, right? So the challenge with glutathione is that it has not been shown to absorb real well orally. However, the Imodium actually absorbs over 50% better than regular glutathione, and it accumulates in the cell over 60% better. So it's been proven to get in the blood, get in the cells, and actually do something. And why is glutathione so important? Let's go to the next one. We can show all the different body systems that utilize it. The immune system, the joint, the brain, the heart, the gut, the liver. So many different organs in the body. I think this is one of the big misunderstandings in our field of natural health, Tracy, is that detoxification only occurs in the liver, right? Have you heard that before?
Yeah,
right.
Detoxification has many elimination pathways.
Yeah, and you eliminate, and every organ in the body detoxifies, right?
Right.
So it's not just specific to the liver, it's all over. It's like cleaning up the garage. You got to get all the garage cleaned up. So the entire body needs to be cleaned. So Imodium is one of the most important nutrients out there for supporting liver and detoxification. Let's go to the next one. Another one is quadrifolate. Tracy did a 4-hour presentation on MTHFR, and I know that was a key seminar for us. You want to just highlight a little bit about that and why the active folate is so important?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, MTHFR gene mutation stands for methotetrahydrofolate reductase gene mutation, which means we can't reduce down and make bioavailable in our body folic acid into folate. So synthetic forms of folic acid, even some foods that have folic acid, our body is unable to reduce down now because of this gene mutation. And this gene mutation actually affects over 50% of our population today, whether or not people know it. So they are compromised in their reduction process. This particular nutrient biohacks around that gene mutation and fills the gap where our body can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's like bypassing traffic, right? It's like getting around the traffic jam so that you can get through. And that's what the active folate does. So this is 4th generation. We use quadrifolate. We also use something called biofolate. They're really interchangeable. So let's go to the next one. And this just shows where this is a 4th generation quadrifolate, even better than 3rd generation, better than folic acid, better than synthetic folic acid. So we can go to the next one. The other key nutrient that is often missed, you hear about phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylserine, but the vitacholine is really critical for all stages of life. The vitacholine is very deficient in most adults. It has some unique abilities in the body to support the brain and the nervous system. It also supports the liver by pulling stored toxins and cysts and fatty acids out of the liver to convert them into ATP, which is cellular energy. So VitaCholine is very unique. It's great for mothers, for developing infants and fetuses. So it's an excellent nutrient. We've been utilizing this more and more. The research is incredible. The dosing is anywhere between 50 and 500 milligrams. So the nice thing is that you can get it in from multiple factors, right? You can get it in from things like the Power Cleanse and the greens, and also from the Woman's Complete. So you're able to get this in a couple different ways. So let's go to the next one. And this is what it's showing here. Everything from newborn baby, fetus development, right? Liver function, immune function, so many different things. You think of choline, especially for mothers, because we're talking about the developing fetus, right? And even in relationships, about half of pregnancies are unplanned. And even if they're planned, you don't really know for 4, 6, sometimes 8 weeks that you're pregnant. So you need to start on things like choline, Woman's Complete, greens, Power Cleanse, way before. These are excellent to take every day so that you don't miss that first trimester, which is vital for full development of the fetus. And of course, our favorite, Dr. Mikey G. So DMG, otherwise known as Darn Mighty Good, stands for dimethylglycine. So what DMG is it's a donator to feed. There's 41 transmethylation steps that all end in the result of increased glutathione production. So rather than guessing, we like to provide DMG because this will fill up wherever you're having deficiencies. So any one of those 41 steps are deficient. DMG, basically, when you take it, it donates and it feeds all the transmethylation steps. It's an oxygenator. It's got about 5 U.S. patents on it. And it's an ingredient we've been utilizing in a lot of our formulas. We have it as a standalone. It's in the greens. It's in the Power Cleanse. We even have it in a Super B Complete, Woman's Complete, so many different formulas. We have it because it's a key nutrient for feeding all these methylation steps. So let's look at one of the U.S. patents on this. There's 5 of them. This is one of my favorites for modulating the immune system for the treatment of inflammatory disease, otherwise known as RA, rheumatoid arthritis. And when people get these autoimmune conditions, Tracy, what does their conventional medical doctor tell them?
That it's irreversible. They live with it for the rest of their life.
Yeah, there's no cure.
That's right.
And it's not your fault, even though your lifestyle is terrible. It's not your fault because your stress is due. It's your genetics. I was talking to a couple yesterday downstairs at the Wellness Center, and they were talking about their genetics. I says, you know what's similar as you and your sister? You both grew up in the same house. You both grew up with the same diet, the same stress, the same environment. That's 90% of it. The genetics is only 10%. So when the doctor tells you, if someone, I was doing some notes last night for our meeting next week, and I was listening to a podcast and taking some notes. And you ever have somebody, Tracy, tell you, you can't do that?
Yeah, not a lot of people say that to me.
Well, not
Just
anymore,
kidding.
right? They may think it or they may feel it. They may not say it,
That's right.
But what they're really telling you is they don't believe they can do it. So if a doctor tells you there is no cure for this, that means they do not have a cure. That doesn't mean everybody. You think that doctor is the smartest person in the world? Of course not. So you got to be open-minded. Like Dr. Weiner said, minds are like a parachute, Phil. They only work when they're open. If somebody says they can't help you, go to somebody else. So the autoimmune is a real, sensitive subject for me because I've overcome autoimmune conditions. And I feel that most people are told there's no help. It's genetics. It's not your fault. Diet and lifestyle have nothing to do with it. However, we know a lot better. And DMG is a key part of helping you in the treatment of inflammatory disease. So let's look at a couple of these ingredients, lean greens and Power Cleanse. We can go to the next one here. So this is actually from Jacqueline, one of our clients. She had a patient come in during COVID, young lady in her late 20s, right around Tracy's age, severe brain fog for 7 months. Now, what would happen if she went to her allopathic medical doctor? What would they do for severe brain fog?
Nothing. They'd probably tell her that she's crazy, her blood work looks fine, or they'd put her on some sort of antidepressant.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Antidepressant, right? You have Abilify or Prozac, whatever they put her on, right? And all Jacqueline did is says, you know what, let's cleanse you and give you some nutrients, because if you're in a brain fog, there's a lot of stress with COVID. There's things that we can do. So Cindy has can you get too much DMG if you take the greens and out? There was a study at Clemson University going back about 30 years. And what they showed at Clemson University is that you can take 4,000 doses at one time, not milligrams, but dosages, and there's no toxicity. Doesn't mean you need 10,000 milligrams. Most people will take 125 milligrams up to about 2,500. So that's usually more than enough. There's no side effects to that. You may have too much energy, but you're not going to get too much in for the greens and power cleanse. It's an interesting question, because I never get the question of, can you take too much sugar in? Can I take too much nicotine? Can I take too much fast food? But, with supplements and vitamins and nutraceuticals, we get that question a lot. But to alleviate any concern, the answer is absolutely not, especially with that protocol. So she was under a lot of stress, felt terrible, and less than 1 week, this is from the doctor and her patient, not from us, less than 1 week, the brain fog was completely gone. Now, we saved this young lady a lifetime of medical problems. We saved our medical community and our country thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars for treatment throughout the years. We saved her from all the potential side effects from the medication. So this is where I get the goosebumps. This is why we do what we do, folks. Yes, it's our career and we need to be rewarded financially. However, the fulfillment we get is right here. So I'm so happy for this young lady. Jacqueline did a great job. Thanks to Tracy for working with her and Rashid for working with them also. So fantastic job on this. Something as simple in our world as severe brain fog, gone in less than a week. Next we want to look at is anemia, and this is actually a young lady in her late 20s that was pregnant. She was a friend of Candace's at Nutritional Frontiers in the Wellness Center. So she had anemia, which is usually low blood count, and the symptom is a lot of fatigue. So, she was having a hard time with this, a lot of fatigue. The allopathic medical doctor prescribed for her iron oxide, which iron in that form is very hard to digest. It creates a lot of nausea, stomach upset, and constipation. Let's go to the next one. So we decided to put her on Women's Complete. You want to talk about this case study a little bit, Tracy? Because I know you have some more details on it. But we put her on this and tremendous results.
Yeah, this actually, Candace just gave me a call and was talking through this with me. And, I just said, let's try Women's Complete with her. And it worked like magic. So it's a great formula. The right forms of iron are in here. And I think you can talk a little bit about the Ferroshell iron that's in here. But it pulled up rather quickly. And I know Candace used this formula as well through her entire pregnancy with a beautiful, healthy boy that she has now.
Oh, absolutely. So if you want to get pregnant, the Women's Complete would be appropriate. It's great for anybody from menstruation through menopause. 1 to 2 caps to start. You can increase that to 3 to 4 if you are trying to get pregnant or you are pregnant. And, utilizing this form of the iron, it's an iron bisglycinate. So minerals like iron and magnesium and calcium and zinc, it's not only the mineral, what they are stabilized with determines the form and the bioavailability, how well you absorb it and assimilate it and utilize it, right? So it's not just the ingredient, folks. It's the ingredient in the right form. So that's why we use the proper form, so you maximize your results. And like Tracy said, in less than 2 months, not only did her fatigue go away, but let's go to the next slide. Her anemia was reversed, and proven by blood work, right? So anemia is gone, energy levels through the roof, and she's feeling, the mom and the baby are as healthy as can be. Let's go to the next one. And this just shows the difference in the blood work from before the wellness woman's complete to after in only 2 months. So it's proven with blood work. It's proven with symptoms reporting back to us. And happy mom, happy baby. So there's a couple examples, folks. Brain fog, anemia. Let's go to weight loss. I looked this up, and it was showing that about 2/3 of Americans are overweight. That might be higher depending on what area of the country you go to. Almost 40% are obese, right? That blows me away. And if you just stop and just start looking around, it'll be proven, because, it's very obvious when you're out in public, depending on, again, where you live and those types of things. But this looked at long-term weight success, right? And when you look at what percentage of people have long-term weight success, it's about 5%. So not really encouraging for most people. But folks, we want to get you healthy, and the weight is a side effect of a healthy body. Let's go to the next one. So we look at this gentleman, a friend of ours. He had high stress and overweight, similar to what I was going through about 10 years ago. And he was very toxic. We can tell he just looked really bloated. So what do you eliminate first, the toxins or the fat? There's been a lot of research on this, and they found that if you eliminate the toxins first, the fat cells will shrink and digest. Let's go to the next one. And that's what we're talking about here, the healthy fat versus the toxic fat. Folks, fats are not a 4-letter word. They are actually good for your cells and very important in your body composition, your mood, your energy, just overall health. Everything needs good fats. However, when you consume toxic fat, or you are toxic, those toxins accumulate in the fat cells, and they are fat soluble. So the body can't release that stored body fat until the toxins released. And that's why it's so important to do things like power cleansing greens. Let's go to the next one. So why do we start with power cleanse every day? Why do we recommend doing a shake a day? Well, let's look at the choices, Tracy, in our country for breakfast. A lot of people don't eat anything. I'm not a fan of that, right? You got to eat eventually. We want to teach you what to eat and when to eat. So the breakfast of champions, right? That's what people consider healthy. Wheaties, Fruit Loops, whatever people eat now. Maybe it's Total, Special K, Raisin Bran. Folks, do not eat box cereals like this. If you do, it's just a treat. It's like having dessert, right? Not the best thing to start your day, because when you start your day with something that's pretty much sugar, what happens is your blood sugar goes up rapidly, right? And then when it comes down, it's such a quick change that your body's craving a stimulant again. And what do you use for stimulants? Sugar, caffeine, nicotine. And not only that, it promotes a lot of body fat storage. So when you consume sugar, like cereal for breakfast, and I know people use skim milk, don't use milk at all. Use coconut milk, rice milk, almond milk. So when you consume this for breakfast, it tells your body to have increased cravings, increased body fat storage, and low energy. Who wants that? That's what you're telling your body hormonally. Instead, do something like the power cleanse. You'll increase energy, increase fat burning, and you'll balance out your moods. That's what you want to accomplish, folks. So you can do that with the power cleanse and the greens together. Let's go to the next one. So new and improved, we have all the vitamins, minerals, protein, fat, fiber, all in the right balances in there. It has the multivitamin and mineral in there. So if you're doing the power cleanse, you don't need to take the multi in addition. It's already in the power cleanse. So that's the added value you're getting from doing something like power cleanse. Let's go to the next one. So friend of mine, we recommended Dan goes, I didn't say no coffee. I said lower it because he was consuming too much. So he went no coffee, no sugar. He said he's getting stronger every day. He's feeling great. And just in 30 days, Tracy, just by doing the power cleanse and the greens, I was blown away by this. 30 pounds in 30 days.
That's awesome. Wow.
Phil, that's when you're supposed to say, wow.
Man, I want to be
30 pounds in 30 days. Phil doesn't need to lose weight, but some people do. And this guy wasn't that big. He wasn't somebody you would think that really needed to lose a lot of weight. But when he said, thank you so much, he's been doing the cleanse and clean up his diet. And he said, contrast to what some people said, Nutritional Frontiers has the great formulations. This is not a marketing scam that's out there. You know, you're not trying to deceive people. You're giving people what they need. So a guy that was just a friend of ours, you know, he does retirement programs for us. We just happened to give him a 30-day cleanse and didn't know if he was going to do it or not, but then he reported back incredible results. So, folks, that's what it's all about. If you give the body what it needs and you change the metabolism, you can get the body to shift. We used to think it took months or weeks. You can do it in one meal. One meal. Give the body what it needs, and it will operate properly. We don't want to continue to add toxicity to it. So next one, we're going to go through two more of these real quick. One is elevated liver enzymes, right? So liver enzymes are enzymes in your liver that are designed to support the body's ability to detoxify. And why would liver enzymes be elevated? Well, there's too much stress on the liver, right? You know, you think about it, if you're going uphill, you got to exert more energy, right? If the body's under a lot higher toxicity level, well, you need to increase activity of the liver to help detoxify. So you'll show signs of elevated liver enzymes. Short term, those need to be corrected, because if not, long term, you can develop cysts, tumors, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and cirrhosis or liver cancer. So liver enzymes are vital, and they can be reversed fairly easily if you follow the right program. So let's take a look at what his words. So this is one of our clients, actually. They were elevated back in January. In less than 2 months, going on the power cleanse and the greens, they normalized. Thank God he went to go get checked, because if he didn't, if he left it unchecked, these may have continued to elevate over a period of time, and he would have been in serious danger. The great news is that we've had multiple case studies of elevated liver enzymes we've had liver enzymes in the 600s that have improved. We had bilirubin over 22 and enzymes over 6,000 for one of our clients. So these are things we've helped with people before. That's why we've improved the formulations so that we can get this liver cleaned up. Tracy, I mean, are you seeing more? I mean, I'm seeing more. I'm just curious for you in the clinic. Are you seeing more people what they call non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? And if
Yes.
so, why?
Well, actually, that's because of high sugar diets. That's because of low fat diets. That's because of we're not giving the liver its nutrients. And so what happens is you actually get like an immune response, a macrophage response around that liver. And that's really what we're seeing. It's not fat accumulation, it's macrophage activity around the liver. So there is an immune response happening. And so they're coming in with all these elevated, bilirubin and all these blood tests that are showing that they have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and they don't know what to do. So this is a good time to offer those solutions to people.
Absolutely. So let's go to the next one and finish up. We can go. There we go. So again, just showing his results over time. They normalized in less than 2 months. I just saw this gentleman last week. He's down another 15 pounds, and he's really starting to look good and feel good. And he said, I just continue to do the greens and the power cleanse every morning for breakfast, just like we told him. So the last one is elevated PSA level. That's prostate-specific antigen. So that's a test that is performed on the prostate, and we like that at 4 or less. Lower is better. So why would the numbers go up? It could be enlargement. It could be inflamed. It could be possible prostate cancer. There could be a lot of factors, prostatitis. So this is very common in men. But we want to, again, get tested. Let's know what the numbers are, and let's have a strategy to help with it. So this gentleman's PSA level, if we just go back about why, there's a lot of reasons why. But, overall, there could be many different causes, right? It could be inflammation. It could be toxicity levels. It could be things where someone does have prostate cancer, right? Heavy metals can be a cause. There's a lot of reasons why, but we want to know what can we do about it. So let's go to the next one. So he had elevated PSA levels, and all he used was Nutritional Frontiers formula called PSA. We call it PSA because it can help with the PSA test, and it has all the nutrients that the prostate needs. And I've had a little bit too much of, all these single nutrients. Oh, salt palmetto is good, and this is good. Nutritional Frontiers doesn't do one nutrient. We like the comprehensive nature of the formulas. So that Tracy had mentioned, the protocols aren't so wide. You don't got to guess and try and put these together yourself about something you heard or read, right? This is based on what the science says and what all the research shows. What ingredients do you need, at what levels, and in what combinations together, so we can maximize the results. Let's go to the last one. And there it is, normal PSA levels, 2 caps per day. He was almost at 4, which is in the danger zone, and he's cut it by about 50%. Just with one product, 2 capsules a day. Now, the diet's important, of course. I like raw pumpkin seeds, any kind of nuts, tomato paste, tomatoes, red foods are all important. But the PSA has very concentrated nutrients in it that will help give the prostate the nutrients that they need.
You have a question?
Good stuff.
She asked, can you take too much DMG?
Yeah, I addressed the DMG one before. So never too much DMG. The studies show that you can do super high levels. We like to keep it between about 125 and 2,500. Some days take a little more. Just depends if you're a triathlete or you're a runner or working out. You can always take a little bit more. The days that you're overworked or on the road, you can take more. And some days you may not need as much. But the levels that you're going to get in the greens and the power cleanse, nowhere near too much.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Well, I think people have a good plan and have seen the results. We always say taste and see. So, and we have done it. So great stuff, guys. You can get all of the products that Jamie recommended at the Weiner Wellness Center. If you are a healthcare professional and you would like to get an account with Nutritional Frontiers, you can go to nutritionalfrontiers.com and create an account, and one of our friendly inside sales representatives will get you started on a path. So thank you, Jamie, very much for all your knowledge.
Thanks, Dr. Tracy. Appreciate the opportunity again. Folks, we're here to help you. Give us a call, come down, or email us. We're here to help you improve your health.
Absolutely. And thanks for sharing your story. I think sometimes people think when you're in this profession, you're perfect, that you have no struggles. And really, most of us have got into it because of our own struggles. So thanks for sharing your story.
Absolutely. I'm here to help people. I've had challenges myself, and I can help you get out of your, regardless of how bad you think it is. We're here to help, and we've helped many people overcome things that they were told they couldn't overcome. So, by the grace of God, you can overcome whatever you want. Just have that faith.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thanks, Jamie.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, stay tuned because Dr. Kathleen Geringer is up next. She is going to be talking about Hormones Simplified. So stay tuned because this is going to be awesome.